Hey, what's up you all my friends? So welcome back to my channel. My name is David and today we're gonna talk about applying to college. Hola a todos mis amigos. Hoy día vamos a hablar sobre aplicando a las universidades. Mi nombre es David. So stay tuned for this because I'm gonna provide 10 tips of how to apply to college. I clearly remember when I was applying to schools that I didn't know anything about SATs, ACT, Common App, personal statement, letter of recommendation, extracurricular activities, and all these other factors that are in this application. So today I'm gonna give you all the tips on how to prepare for this process. But before I move into this, if you have not subscribed, please make sure you click that little link right there that it says subscribe and hit the little bell in order to get notifications about my weekly videos. If you're new here, I hope that these tips help you, and also send me your comments if you want to ask me anything else about this process. The main reason why I'm doing this video today is because 2 weeks ago I gave a speech to high school students, and also every year I return back to my school and I always get the same questions about what is it like apply to college, what is a college like, and how do I write my personal statement. And I always get these questions, and should I go to college? Is it too late to apply to college? Is it too early to start thinking about college? So here I want to be able to provide you with these tips, as well as how to remain positive, stay positive, and always smile, because this is an overwhelming process, as I vividly remember. But also, I know that some of my viewers in here, this might not pertain. I'm sorry about that, but I just wanted to be able to provide these resources for everyone that do not have the resources, or that was very clueless like myself going through this process. Therefore, if you have friends, cousins, or siblings that might benefit from these tips, make sure you share with them. Although this might not be for you, but make sure you provide them with these resources that I will be providing today. If I can help one person, that already makes me happy, because I know that I have achieved my goal to help someone else. So with that being said, I will give you 10 tips on how to navigate the process of applying to college. So to begin, step number 1, find your own interest. Start early on, start since freshman year, but even if you're not a freshman, find your interest, find what you want to study, find where you fit, and then what are your qualities as a person. For instance, for me, I was very passionate about science. I always enjoyed science, and I wanted to go to school that had a lot of research where I can expand my knowledge and I can find myself and discover other things and explore more things beyond science. If you know something that really sparkles and really calls your attention, start your research there, identifying what would you like to study, what would you like to discover, what would you like to explore. And so you will start your research with the people that are more closer, like the closest to you. Therefore, you have your teachers right around you who have gone to college. So if you know any of your teachers has some similarities with the stuff that you want to study, make sure you ask them questions. Ask them questions. They already went through this process too. And if you're like myself, that no one in your family have gone to college, you don't have anyone around, ask your teachers. Therefore, do your own research. Once you have identified what you like and what you're passionate about, start with your extracurricular activities. Step number 2, do your extracurricular activities. What do I mean by this? Do community service, and where you think that your passion is on. So start building that resume. And this, I must say that you need to start this in freshman year, but also you can start this sophomore year, junior year, senior year. And start building that resume. Start doing those things that you're passionate about. So start with those steps. Step number 1 will be identify your passion. Identify what you want to study. Step number 2, start building your resume by doing things that align to your passion and your dreams. So if these two match, you're gonna start setting up a solid base to your future and your college application, which is gonna be so easy to talk at the end of these 10 tips. If your school is one of the schools that has many clubs, many opportunities for you to grow and for you to take a lead in leadership, join them. But also be creative. Once you are part of that club, make sure you're creative. Take that club or that like organization of like how you want to see it growing. But also, if you're in a school that doesn't have any of these things, be creative. Start a new club. Start something that aligns with your goals and what you think you will like. And that goes along again with step number 1 of what you like, what you're passionate about. Always remember that they need to align. Also, when I was saying don't do too much, what do I mean by this? Don't be joining like 20 clubs or 20 activities or 20 things and you're not achieving anything. You're just there for the meetings and that's it. No, it's preferable that you do 3 or 2 of those, but you are very, very in it. That you are developing yourself and growing in that. Step number 3. If you are a sophomore, you already taking honor classes. But also, you might be allowed to take AP courses. What do I mean by AP? For those of you that don't know what AP college means or IB classes, it means that these are college prep courses that prepare you to college and you can earn college credits. Make sure those are classes that you want to explore and that you are willing and committed to study in something in that area. Now, step number 4, it's gonna be start your search for the schools. Which schools align for what I want to study and what I'm passionate about? Like, does that school align with your goals and your dreams? Also, some of the factors that you need to take into consideration while you're searching for these schools will be, do I like big classes? Do I like a small classroom? Do I like big campus? Do I like a small campus? Do they provide great financial assistance? Do they provide scholarships? Do they provide all the needs? Find all the needs that you want. Try to identify those things and start picking from there the schools that you want to go. For instance, for me, one of the biggest factor was financial assistance. So I knew that if I didn't get financial assistance, I wouldn't be able to go to college. So I knew that my parents wouldn't be able to afford school. Therefore, I was looking for a school that will provide me great financial assistance as well as a great area to explore and discover myself. In Cornell was one of those places, as well as other schools that I applied, but I think the major one that provided me everything as a full ride was Cornell. So if you're looking onto those things, make sure you are searching for like those different things that you need. But beyond that, I want to say, once you start that search, don't stress over stats. I know that most people already get discouraged as soon as they see like, oh, high SAT, high ACT, or high GPA. Do not discourage yourself because you never know what's gonna happen in the process. Remember that this is a holistic process, that they look at you as a full person, not just because one score or not just because an AP score. Just make sure to not overstress over numbers. The way I did my process while I was applying to school, I did, I think, between 3 to 5 reach schools, which were very competitive. I didn't know if I was gonna get in or not. And then I had 4 to 5 match school, which it was my 50-50. And I also had between 4 to 5 safety school that I felt confident that I was gonna get in. Your rich schools will be those schools that you are aiming to, that you don't know. Like I mentioned before, there are a lot of students that might not have everything perfect, but they will get in because of all the steps that I have have aligned to their goals and to the mission of the school. And I will tell you this, as like I had a lot of my classmates that we talk about it. Not everyone was perfect, not everyone had a perfect SAT scores, but everyone had something in common, was that it was aligned to the mission of what they wanted to provide. So if you look onto those things, you can make a difference. So step number 6, and this one is the ACT and the SATs. I know that some of you might not know what does this mean, but this is the college admission test that some college require to do it, and some nowadays don't. So that's what I'm saying. When you're doing your research, make sure you know all these different things. I recommend for you to take it at the beginning of your junior year or December of your junior year. So make sure you prepare for it. Make sure you take practice exam. Will be the key for this test. Take practice. as there are so many practice tests online. Make sure you study the strategies and go slowly. Do not get frustrated with this test. It's like if you're planning to apply to Ivy League schools, there are other requirements that you need to take, which will be SAT 2, and those are the subject tests. So just if you are taking AP, I will totally recommend to take the SAT 2 right after your AP exam, because it will still fresh, and then make sure you know what schools are you applying, because some schools require specific tests for specific majors. So that's what I'm saying. Do your research about every school that you're planning to apply. Also, the major reason why I recommend you to take your SAT or ACT early on your junior year, it's because you want to have a smooth transition to your AP exams or a smooth transition to finals, because you want to make sure you get all the grades that you want to get those years without stressing to take your ACT or SAT, your finals, and your AP exam, everything at the same time. Tip number 7. This is where I'm gonna tell you to start pulling the applications. So most of the applications will be available to you, and some might not be, but a lot of the applications will be out. So I will tell you, starting right now, at the beginning of your junior year, start pulling every application that you need. The 3 for your rich, the 3 or 5 for your match, and the 3 for your safety or 5 for your safety. Pull those applications. Make sure you know what they require you. So put it on a Google Doc, and then go from there. Be like personal statement, and then go on like supplemental statements. And if they say optional, do it. Optional still means that you need to do it. They want to see which ones are more willing to do the statements and which ones are more to take the extra mile, right? Be the one. Take the extra mile. Underneath this, it's one of the biggest bullet point that I will give you. Letter recommendation, I provided a cover letter, I provided with my resume, and I provided with my personal statement. Perhaps my personal statement at that time wasn't my best, but it was kind of a draft, was able to tell everything about me and about their class. And probably this will be a mini tip that I can give you on this side. If you're writing to that professor exactly, make sure you let them know on that cover letter something that sparkle from their class, and they can remember you. So when you come back your senior year, they will have it ready for you for submission. Know your deadlines. Remember that schools have a deadline. If you're planning to apply early action, make sure you know that their deadline is November 3rd. And if you know that you're applying regular decision, make sure you know that their deadline is January 1st. During this step is the biggest key for you to multitask, because this is the time where you should be looking into scholarships. If you are a person like myself that need a scholarship in order to go to college, make sure you know that the biggest amount of money, it's at the beginning of your senior year. By the end of your junior year, make sure you know you have your applications and you know the scholarship that you want to apply, and know what are the requirements. Look for those requirements and make sure you are gathering all the information you need. Letter recommendations, transcript, all the stuff should be ready for you. Step number 8, personal statement. I will emphasize that your personal statement is one of the places where you can really stand out. What do I mean by this? So remember that I told you identify what you want to study, identify start building your resume, taking those AP college courses. Remember that all that needs to align. That's where you can sparkle on like showing how everything aligns to what you want to study, how everything aligns of what you want to explore or what you want to discover or how you want to grow as a person. Remember that everything needs to be the same. You cannot have like apples here, bananas, orange, and everything everywhere. No, remember that everything needs to show your passion in the same transition through everything that you have done. I must say, there is no perfect essay. But when you start writing this, do not get stuck about those 500 words. Do not do that. Write everything that you want to tell them first. Write everything that you want to say. It could be 3 pages, 4 pages, it's okay. At least this is my tip that I will give you. That's what I have done. I wrote everything that I wanted to say, and when I start cutting things, I start thinking things that wasn't relevant and it wasn't aligning to what I wanted to achieve. Research, science, personal experience that I went through that. So I relate all the stuff that I have done, even with my community service, was everything on the same page. So don't overthink first. Write everything that you wanted to say and then start going on from there. And also, this will be a statement that you will be able to use for your scholarships. So make sure you find the statements for the scholarships as well and put that in the Google. Step number 9. On this step, it's when I'm gonna tell you, just go over your application, go over your supplemental, make sure everything aligns with the school that you're applying to, that if you are recycling essays for the supplemental, make sure that it aligns to the school, as well as your letter of recommendation. Make sure they are being sent to the proper school, because one of my teachers almost sent my letter of recommendation to a different school, and I'm glad I caught that mistake. So step number 9, overlook your application. Go over it again. Make sure you go through your information and everything, it's in there. But once you hit the button submit, do not look at it again, because you're gonna be killing yourself of wanting to know, and you're gonna find mistakes in typo or something, and then don't do that, because you're gonna get more stressed to yourself, and instead of enjoying your senior year, you're gonna be stressed out trying to know and trying to fix these things, because you can't fix anything. Once you hit submit, it's submitted. That's it. There's nothing else you can do about it. So relax. As soon as you hit submit, just relax, take a step back and be like, it's done. You did your best. You tried what you could, and that's all you can do. And all you have to do now is wait. And lastly, from step 1 through 9, do not use College Confidential. I felt that when I use College Confidential, there are so many misleading information that can discourage you from applying, that can discourage you from doing the things that you wanted to do. Quite often, we get discouraged just because someone said X, Y, and Z, and we're like, oh, I have this similar story. No, you are a whole different person. Just remember, you are different than everyone else, and all you're doing is for yourself, and the stuff that you're putting there is for yourself, but you try it for yourself. Tip number 10, the easiest one. Easiest, and I'll divide it in 2 pieces. First, write thank you notes. Write thank you notes to your teachers and to all the mentors and all the people that help you in that process. Let them know how much you appreciate their work. Second piece of this will be happy, enjoy your senior year, and I hope that every single one of these steps help you, and I hope that this makes your transition easier than mine. I was so overwhelmed, super stressed out through this process, and I hope that you don't go through the same situation as I went. Work diligently, work ahead of the game, focus on yourself, and be happy for all the hard work that you have done. All you gotta do now is wait, because you will get there. You will get somewhere in that school that you decide to go. It will be the perfect match. And I will say this, it's meant to be where you get accepted and where you decide to go. Well, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you really enjoy, and I hope this really helped you. If you have more questions, please comment below, right below, send me your questions. If you would like to hear more about the Ivy League's interview, as an alum, I have interviewed students for Brown and Cornell, but also I went through that process when I was in high school. So if you want to know more about those things, comment below and let me know what would you like to learn more next. I will see you next, and remember to stay positive, be positive, and always smile. Bye bye.